Have you spent years training your mind to be the smartest, most prepared person in the room? Do you journal, read a ton of books, and know exactly why you shouldn't be overextending yourself, but you still do? Stay with me because there's something going on that you may or may not know. What is going on is that your body is still likely operating on a different set of rules. And those rules are that being available is the only way that your nervous system and essentially you feel safe. And every time you fail to say no, or every time you continue with the yes, you end up judging yourself for a lack of discipline. At least that's what I did. But I want you to know that it's not a discipline thing, it's a reflex issue. And the reason I say it's an issue is because even when you want to say yes, want to say no, 8 out of 10 times, or for some of us who have it really, really bad, 10 out of 10 times, we end up saying yes. And to me, that's an issue, wouldn't you say? So, how do you actually stop the automatic yes? Because it's an automatic yes if it comes out even when you want to say no. When your brain is lagging 20 milliseconds behind your nervous system. Stay with me. It's why, especially for high achieving women, it makes people pleasing, which is essentially what we're doing, harder to see. So let's talk about it. Your nervous system earned early on that availability is the price of being kept. So you continue to be easy, continue to be helpful. You continue to be the one that doesn't cause problems, that doesn't cause any type of conflict. And what it did was that it kept you safe. Your body learned as a result of this that disappointing people, especially those close to you, is dangerous or unsafe. And because of that, your body continued to run on that program. So here we are, years later, as an adult, operating under what I'm going to call a fawn response, FAWN. The fawn response sits in the same part of your nervous system as the flight, freeze, or fight responses. And I'm sure you've heard of those. And what it does is it fires up, it kicks up, it starts going before your thinking brain has even had a chance to kick off or had a chance to catch up with it. And that's why you can know fully, intellectually, right? That you don't want to say yes, but then you still find yourself saying it. And I want to add that many high achieving women have a particular version of this problem. Because we're so good at solving problems, because we're the go-to in almost every situation at work, professionally, in our social groups, family, solving problems, always being helpful, always almost having the answer. So when the yes reflex fires, when it kicks off, you do what you always do. You think your way, you intellectualize your way through it. And it may likely sound like you saying, next time I'll be more prepared. Next time I'll have a better decision. Next time I'll even set a boundary. I'm sure this is sounding familiar for some of us. But unfortunately, that reflex doesn't wait for the next time. It continues to fire in the next millisecond, and the next 20 milliseconds to be accurate. And your thinking brain takes longer than that to load. So where are we? You end up, even after you promised yourself, even after you intellectually said you wouldn't say yes, we're back to square one, saying yes to requests that we do not want to acquiesce. And so you're walking away from situations confused, annoyed, irritated about why you did it again. And I don't want you to blame yourself or attribute it or say that it's a discipline problem or a confidence problem, which you lack neither. You don't have a discipline problem. You're actually very disciplined. It's a character problem or not. It's not. I'm kidding. So it's not a discipline problem. It's not a character problem. And it's not a confidence problem. It's a timing problem. And it's that 20 millisecond where your brain is lagging behind the yes that comes out. Your logic showed up after the answer was already out of your mouth, after you had committed, after you had signed up for it. Okay? So you're probably thinking, okay, yes, I see that I keep saying yes even when I want to say no. And oh, I'm glad that it's not me, just giving in because I don't have boundaries, or because I'm not confident, or because I'm not sure of myself, or because it's a character flaw. It's none of those. What actually interrupts this? And I'm going to tell you what actually interrupts that reflex is not a better reason to say no. So even coming up with reasons that are valid to say no will not interrupt it. What it will do is maybe at best just make you feel slightly better. What we really want to do to interrupt it is to catch the moment before the yes happens. When you're asked and before the yes comes out and before your brain thinks about it, we want to catch that moment. And that moment is what I call the pause. Pause. I love science, especially neuroscience. It's that 2-second window between the request that is made of you and then the response that you give. Okay. And most people skip it entirely because it's so short that they just, it just comes out. So the challenge, which I'm throwing out to you, is to catch that moment, tune in to that pause moment, because when you learn to use it, everything will change. It's a total game changer. And while I say it's a challenge that is worthy of you, taking on, because who wants to be a people pleaser? Who wants to keep saying yes? At this point in your life, you know that there's a lot that is contingent upon you not agreeing to do things that take your time, not agreeing to be with people who are drawing away or drawing you away from your desire. So it's really, really important that you take back your freedom, because that's really what it is, right? It's you outsourcing your freedom and the things that you're desirous of because you're too busy or too committed saying yes to things that are against what you really want. Okay. And that's what I teach. I teach you how to learn to use it or how to embody it so that it becomes a reflex in and of itself. We're not going to do any more mindset work. We're not talking about affirmations. Not that those things are bad, but they're just not what would serve you in this time. It's the actual body level interruption that will get you from saying yes in situations where everything in you is screaming no to saying yes. And we're using it to stop the reflex that has been running through your life from when you learned early on that yes kept you safe to now where it's like, you know what, I don't give a, and I really want to get to where I need to be in my life. So I put together a free training called What's Happening in Your Body Before the Yes. It's very potent, it's very powerful. It's not a webinar, it's actually the mechanism. And I walk you through the 3 steps, the science behind why you keep saying yes, even when you want to say no, in plain, simple language. So the link is in the description. And if this video made something click, if it awakens something, if it got you thinking about how you can get your life back, how you can start to be in integrity with yourself. Because yes, it is as serious as being out of integrity when you agree to things that you don't want to do. That is not being an integrous person. And what they say, integrity begins with you, right? So if any part of this resonated with you, click the link, because the training will take you further than this video has. All right, I'll see you in it, and I'll also see you in the next video. Ciao.